I have been struggling with this bastard all day. Finally got all the wires in and connected, and speedo cable, the trip adjuster, the clock adjuster, got it all in, and then discovered that I had got the clock adjuster and the speedo trip meter adjuster in the wrong place. Let me see if I can show you by shining up under the dash. And here you are looking up under the dash. Here is the clock adjuster, and here is the speedo adjuster. You will note they are in front. If I can get my finger the right way around. This is, there it is, in front of this piece. And that applies the same on the other side as well, you see. Definitely in front of this piece. Now, initially I had them coming through here, and that is totally wrong. It just doesn't seem to work. The curve, as you can see on this, is a little sharp, but there's no choice. And what I did do is I checked on the holes in the panel that goes here, and they're just little round holes, and they're just either side of the steering column. So they're just here, and the same on this side. Right, now it's a matter of getting, good God, getting the bolts in. Up under, yeah, you can't see it. Can you see it? Not really. Oh, and one other thing, hang on, let me change you around. You will have fun here with the piece of trim in there and the fur flex and everything. It's a real faff in there. Oh dear, I got crap on my wood. I'll have to clean that off. Sorry, you're not seeing that. Why would you care anyway? So, yeah, it's a real pain in the ass, I tell you that now. Finish this off today, and I'll show it in the video for you, and next second, for me, it'll be tomorrow, because I am absolutely shattered after doing this. You will bend and cut your wrist in hands in many, many places. It is not fun. Had I remembered to do things in the correct order, maybe it wouldn't have been quite so bad. I'm just trying to think what I can tell you to tell you what is the correct order. Hang on, give me a second here. Let's give it some thought. Well, maybe getting the outside dash and the glove box in first before you do the center dash might be easier. I mean, you've got to have the wires there, but that doesn't mean you have to connect all the center dash up and have all the gauges in. I honestly don't know, so you sorry, that's the wife texting me. I honestly don't know which is the best method. What I can tell you is it's a real pain in the ass. Not like modern cars today where they just put it all in one big lump. These cars are done properly. Okay, let me get on, finish this off, get the dash top on and show you. Okay, as promised, here it is. All back together. Wow. Wow, isn't that amazing? Now, let me see if I can zoom you over. Oh, no, wrong button. And by the way, you have to tap on the screen. I never know which one it's doing. There, look at that. Wood comes down nicely in the chrome piece at the top there. Comes down and meets with the dash top. And, well, that's it. And the darkness you see, hang on, let me see if I can, you see that's the wood. that little dark, well, not quite a triangle, but that's the wood from up there. So bugger all I can do about that. That's how it is. Right, next. What's next? Sort out this door. Oh, no, it's not next. Oh, good, I can leave it for a moment. I've got to figure out the horn wire. I've got to get that soldered. Yes, soldered. And I then have to deal with that piece over there, which I haven't yet done, but I have done the one on this side. Right, onward and upward. Sorry, you probably won't get this video today. Right, there are 2 more jobs I need to achieve today, if I can. One is to get the wire sorted out for the horn and install the switch. 2 is to install this panel. Now, I've marked roughly where I think holes go, but I do have to modify this panel. I have to cut it here because of the bracket for the AC system I've put in. I also have to cut it here for the battery cut-off. Now obviously this panel has already been professionally covered, so I'm going to try and stick it and re-stick it, but you know, that shouldn't be too bad. First things first, let's get these holes in where I've got the green marks, or at least roughly where I've got the green marks. I'll just pull the vinyl back, find the hole and make it through. I've already started, and I've done this one here. And here's one I did earlier. Here's one I did earlier, this one. So I found it, made a nice hole. Got to re-stick this because I peeled it up to find out where it was. And now that I've done that, I'll get on with it. Back in a moment. Well, I hear you ask, Gary, what the hell are you doing now? As I mentioned previously, I've just put a switch in so that I could run the electric fan, which is designated for the AC, at any time that I want by installing a switch. But first I had to make sure I could do that. And down here, see where that big red clamp is? That is the wire that goes to the fan. So I thought, okay, I will test it. So I put power onto it, switched it on, and heard the fan kick in. Absolutely fucking marvellous. However, the fan was blowing outwards and not sucking in. Oh, bottoms, I thought, because the only way to make it go in the other direction is to swap the wires around. Now, I needed to make sure that I got the correct connections, and I needed to swap them around from the fan. Now, bear in mind that the fan on the front of the car, the AC fan, is not grounded in any way, shape or form. And it just needs to get a supply. And one way is negative, one way is positive, although, you know, that doesn't really matter too much. But when you reverse it, the fan goes in the opposite direction. Of course, I'd got it wrong. I thought I had it right when I did it initially, but I didn't. Oh, bollocks. So what I've had to do is break into the wiring, because I cannot get to the fan without taking the AC system apart. So there you can see I've broken into the wires here, and I've switched them. And I've switched them in such a way that I cannot now connect the black to the black and the purple to the purple. That's just because I'm an anal twit, and I figure if somebody ever does take this apart, they won't be able to connect it back up wrong and reverse the direction of the fan. Of course, if they want to, then they'll have to rip all this apart. Now for the test, he says. Right, got my little snap-on box thingy. You should get one of these. It does, when you're working on a car, you plug it into the OBD connector, and it prevents you, when you disconnect the battery, from losing all your settings, you know, radio, etc. Very handy. Also, as you can see, I've got it supplies 12 volts to whatever I'm working on. So it's really good. Now, switch it on. And you can hear it, can't you? So I am now sending power directly to that blue wire, purple wire. And the colours are really irrelevant. And you can hear it, and if I put this piece of paper in here, you can see it sucks. Yeah, no you don't. Which is good. And I couldn't feel anything here, whereas before I could when I'd connected up the wrong way around. So now I know that works. I've also proved to myself that the fan on this AC unit works, this beast here, because I've connected up the wire temporarily that feeds everything here for the AC. Right, God, look, a spaghetti junction there that I've got to tidy up. But now what I've got to do is get an extra wire from here over to the switch and get a supply to the switch. So I've got to figure out how I'm going to do that. Probably won't be too difficult. I've just got to find a hot wire that is hot when the ignition is on. It can be hot. Actually, I might... No, second thoughts. I'm going to make it hot permanently. The reason I want that hot permanently is if it's a hot day and I've been on a drive, it would be nice to leave the fan running. Now, granted, I could, put a time delay relay or something like that on it, but no, I can't get enough shit to do without getting into that. So I'm just going to make it manual, and then I'll be happy. All right, what else have I got to do? Well, I've got to make the main connection for the AC system to the battery now. Still waiting for the new dryer to come. I'm going to drag out the radio. Yeah, I'm digressing here purely because I want something different to do. Yeah, I know I've got this bloody door panel to do, so I'm putting it off for the moment. I want to get that under dash panel over there done, but in order to do that, I want to get the speaker wires across to both sides, and I don't know yet if the radio that I've got that I'm going to use has speaker wires with it, or whether I need to go get some. So let's get the battery connection done, get the wires for this switch done, and take it from there. Right, I had to take the dash top off to get to a connection. I couldn't get the screwdriver in correctly on the back of the light switch where I wanted to pick up a live feed. And I also at the same time thought, well, I'll get this light connected. It's not right, simple as that. But I'll just heat this up, take that off, and then I'll be able to make the connection I need. Also, I noticed that this, is in pretty shoddy state, and as I happen to have a spare dash top, I'm going to steal it from that. Oh, and by the way, if any of you want a dash top, this one is in fair condition. You can see here it's got some slight damage. I have taken this apart and re-glued it. You could probably just do little minor repairs here, varnish it, and put it on the car. It would probably be perfectly okay. So if you, you're interested, let me know. I'll happily send this to you for a price, of course. Nothing in the world is free, but it will be minus this piece because I'm stealing it for my car. But there you go. Look, you can see the glue along there where I have re-glued it. And obviously it was apart when I re-glued it. It wasn't together. So, yep, there you go. Okay. Now, on to what else I'm up to. Well, here's a mess of wires. I got to try and sort them out before I put the panel on. So, don't worry about it right now. It's not going to stay like that. In fact, a lot of these wires will probably be tucked up under this hole here, or as far up there as I can get them, purely to get them out of the way. You know, it's up there somewhere, somehow. Don't want them on the side here, because I've got a piece of carpet that's going to go here, and it's going to have to deal with these relays anyway, so I'd rather try and keep it to a minimum. It doesn't matter, the carpet's just going to go around there and nobody will even fucking know because it'll be hidden. So I've got that done now. That big red thing there, that is where I've had to join 3 wires together. Sorry, 3 wires. Would you make your mind up? 3 wires together. And because I'm an anal twit, I couldn't use just a crimp, or even a crimp on that. So I soldered each wire individually, or tinned them individually, and then soldered them all together in rather a not pretty fashion. But I got it done. I got the joint, I got it to work, and everything is fine. And if anybody ever comes to this and takes that red sleeve off, they're going to be going, what the f did this guy do? Well, I've just told you what I f***ing well did. See, these I could use, the squeezy crimpy things, but on those wires there was just too many. Let me see. Let's turn the power on and listen for the fans. Ray, Gary, Ray, Gary. Sorry, can't help myself. I'm beyond help. I've also done the wire in here. Hang on, let me see if I can. The single wire there, that is for the AC power. It is fused, so don't panic. It's got a fuse here, and it is ready for the AC to work. And when I get that damn dryer, it will work. Obviously, I've still got my lovely isolation switch. I'll tell you what, guys, you should really install one of these. Figure it out somehow, somewhere. It makes life so much easier. So, right, power on. Well, say power on, yeah, sort of. Interior lights have come on. Now, you can see here, I have my panel with the switch on. And that's actually an interior light switch of one which I hadn't spare. These holes are for the trippy meter and also for the clock adjustment. I've still got to do the wire for the horn. I'm thinking, if I can, I'm going to pull that wire out, put a draw wire on it, pull it out down below, and then make the wire the correct length for the steering wheel. But I have to allow for the fact, if it'll let me, that the steering wheel goes up and down. So I've got to make sure the wire is long enough to the height and then doesn't bunch up too much when you push it down. Going to be fun, that one. What else have we got here now? Oh, yes, the interior fan and the exterior fan. Now, as I mentioned, I have got this a permanent hot feed. So even when I've stopped the car, I can still run the fan. Let me show you. Hear it? Yep. So I've stopped the car, the ignition is off. I just leave the fan running for a few moments before I flip the switch. And that will be tucked up under here. You won't even know it. The other thing is the AC unit. Now, get out of it, you. I'll deal with that later. Turn the fan on, nothing happens. Got to have the ignition on. Turn the fan on. There you go. And I can tell you that's blowing out. It's blowing cold, but That's only because the garage is cold at the moment. Okay, and there's a hot, which I will never use, and there is a cold adjustment there. Right, fan off, ignition off. Yeah, now the one thing I am going to do, and I won't show you, I'll just tell you about it. Because I've wired it now to be able to run that fan, I've noticed when I'm running the car just on idle and a few revs here in the garage, because I like to run it, the temperature would get kind of high. Sometimes it would be on the 70 there, and sometimes it would start to creep up to the 110, and I don't like that. So that's another reason I put that switch on. And I'm going to do it, and let's see what happens. Oh, sorry, I'll show you. I've got to run the car for a little while first. Okay, I've just started the engine. As you can see, water temperature is way down. Oil pressure probably around, what would that be? 30, 40 pounds. Fuel, yes. Battery's charging. Revving, or ticking over, sorry. Just above the 500, probably around 600, something like that. That's a little slow, but she's cold. Oh, and of course you know I don't have my starting carburetor, so I can't switch that on. Another job for me to do that I haven't got round to yet. Okay, I'm gonna leave it running and I'll be back in a moment. Okay, as you can see, she's gone up from the normal sort of, I guess, what would that be? 70. I don't even know what the normal running temperature is, but we're getting close to that mark in the middle between 70 and 110. So that would be, shit, what would that be? 90, something like that. No, not even that. 80 maybe, 80, 90. Doesn't matter. Let's switch the fan on and see what happens. Holding steady. That's good. That's holding nice and steady there. Alright, I'm going to leave it running for a while. I'll be back. She's been running now for probably another 5 minutes. I'm going to leave it a little bit longer and see if it holds steady. I'll be back. Oh, there you go. Oh, we are still holding at approximately 90 degrees. And don't forget, this car is just sitting still. There's no real airflow other than what the fans are doing. And it's in my garage and I live in Arizona. The outside temperature at the moment is about 85, 90 degrees. My engine's running at roughly 90 degrees. And it appears that, according to various sources, anywhere between 70 and 115 is okay, as long as your oil pressure holds around 40 psi. As you can see, my oil pressure is holding at around 40 psi. So I think we're good. I'm going to let it run a little longer just for my own satisfaction, but right now I'm going to end this video and say, get out in the garage, go do some shit. I've still got a couple of little minor things that I want to do. As I previously mentioned, the horn, and I want to put the steering wheel on, the cowl. Yes, the door panel has still to be done, and the right rear wood trim needs to be repositioned. Yeah, every little job. But one of the things I want to source next is my radio, so I see what's needed there, and get the speaker wires across at least to the driver's side and maybe the passenger side as well. I've already got the speakers, although I think I'm going to have to make up some mounting plates. Right, as I said just now, get out in that garage, go do some shit. We're holding good. Yep, I'm happy with that.